Greetings and welcome to ProfNeel. This is a very special recording, a very special Friday afternoon, and you can see that big smile on my face. Yes, it's a very special smile too, because today is the 52nd video we are uploading. This video has been uploaded as the 52nd. Consistently, without fail, ProfNeel has been uploading videos premiering every Friday without fail since 52 weeks, and this marks our first annual. So it's very special for us today. And this path has been exacting, has been exciting, there's a lot of learning, and there's a lot of perseverance. But most important, it is a lesson in persistence. And who better a role model for persistence than Raj Kumar Shukla? Raj Kumar Shukla? Who's that? Now this man's contribution to our quest for independence is so big, it's so significant, but his name does not figure in that list of the Gandhis, the Tilaks, the Malviyas, the Bulawai Desais and Iyengars, and no, it does not. He is a very obscure peasant from Champaran district in Bihar, around whom the storyboard of the Lagaan film was made. About the Lagaan being the collection from the zamindar, from the peasants that the zamindars would take. It's a very cruel system that whatever the weather condition, they have to pay. And they had to obey the zamindars to think of growing whatever crop the zamindar wanted. In this case, it was a British planter. In 1875 was born Raj Kumar Shukla, and by 1907 he was incensed that the British planters were forcing everybody there to grow indigo because they're making a huge profit on indigo in the international market. Raj Kumar Shukla owned a 5-acre plot, and along with Ghulam Sheikh, he started organizing strikes, uprisings, revolts against the British planters. But the British planters were the law unto themselves. They decided there was no police to decide the jury or police to manage the cases. The planters were the law unto themselves. They decided what the punishment was, everything. I mean, totally the law and the judiciary. The law enforcement was done by them. They used to decide the sentence. And once Raj Kumar Shukla often he had been beaten up, tortured, harassed, and once he was found arguing with the British planter. And for that he was jailed. It was the timely intervention of some lawyers from Patna, Bihar, which got him out. Now, Gandhiji returned from South Africa in 1915. He had, after successfully organizing satyagrahas, getting the blacks and the colored people their due rights. And 1917, 2 years on his arrival, witnessed his first satyagraha movement in India, from where he earned the admiration and the respect of all other national leaders. We talk about Tilaks, etc. But this is not about Gandhiji again, time and time again. This is about that persistent farmer who would not take no from an obstinate person like Gandhiji. He piqued the Mahatma with his persistence. Discontent among the indigo planter peasants were simmering during World War I, when the British put more pressure on them to grow more indigo. But the farmers were very upset, incensed, because they were not getting any money. They paid a pittance, but they had to do it. And Raj Kumar Shukla had another side to him. He was a freelance contributor to a magazine, a magazine named Pratap, a Hindi newspaper, whose crusading editor was Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi. It was to Vidyarthi that Rajkumar learnt about Mahatma Gandhi coming to India and what work he had done in South Africa. So Raj Kumar Shukla decided then he had to get Mahatma Gandhi. This is somewhere in 1917, early 1917, and he decided that he had to get Mahatma Gandhi somewhere there in those times. He said he will get Mahatma Gandhi to Champaran. I'm sorry, this happened somewhere in 1915, 1-5, when Mahatma Gandhi returned to India. And in 1916, a year later, Gandhiji attended the Lucknow session of the All India Congress. Raj Kumar travelled the 100 kilometers to Lucknow for the Congress session. Mind you, in those days, 100 kilometers was a huge distance because the logistics of transport were not very good. There was not good roads, there were no good railway tracks, there were not scheduled trains like today, not the comforts. So you can imagine the odds against which he travelled 100 kilometers just to get Gandhiji to Champaran. He did meet and interact with the leaders like Madan Malviya, Balgangadhartilak, which had gone with the lawyers Raj Kumar Prasad and Rajendraprasad. But the Tilaks and the Malviyas, they considered Champaran too insignificant in their framework of plans for Indian independence. And they had bigger plans. But one of the resolutions passed at the Lucknow Congress was the plight of the farmers growing indigo, forced to grow indigo in Champaran. So Shukla took the cue and took the mic and spoke, saying that the planters have become a law unto themselves and they decide on the criminal and civil cases. They are the law, they are the jury, and I shudder at my fate because they'll know I've come here and express my views here. So I don't look forward to going back to Champaran with this after telling you my story, because they'll get to know. Gandhiji was asked to speak on the resolution, but he declined, saying he did not have enough information on this. Raj Kumar Shukla seized Gandhiji's legs and said, "Aap hamare karta dhata ho," in the sense, you are my God, you have to come to Champaran. And Gandhiji didn't say anything. He just proceeded to the next stop, Kanpur, 100 kilometers away, to find Raj Kumar Shukla waiting for him there. Champaran is very near here, from here. Please give me a day. Please. And Gandhiji, more out of courtesy than intention, said, "I will come when I am free." And after that, Gandhiji returned to Ahmedabad. And who did he find there? No prizes for guessing. Raj Kumar Shukla, who had travelled 2,000 kilometers to get Gandhi to Champaran. He didn't give up. Like a devil after a yearling, he didn't give up. He just went there and said, "I want a date. You have to come to Champaran." Gandhiji was now piqued by his persistence and said he would come to Bihar. When he came to Calcutta in April, from there he would come to Bihar. So Gandhiji came to Calcutta. Whom does he find there? Seated on his haunches. Who else but our protagonist, Raj Kumar Shukla, will come to Calcutta. He says, "You promised me? Now I'm here. Let me take you there." So once he had wanted Gandhiji's leader, he did not give up. He was persistent. So he said, "Let's go." So Gandhiji said, "Let's go." And when they reached Champaran in the second week of April 1917, 17, imagine, from 1915, 2 years, Raj Kumar Shukla had been tailing Gandhiji. He literally had been at his throat, seizing his legs also. But once Gandhiji was Champaran, he was like a shadow for him, arranging meetings for him, arranging meetings and visits to the peasants' farms, interactions with local leaders, etc., making provisions to go to the court. If you remember that film, Richard Attenborough's film Gandhi, in which Ben Kingsley played the role of Gandhiji and did magnificently. And that scene, that beautiful frames where a young, defiant Gandhi, the body language was so clear, and he said, tells the British magistrate, "This is my country. I'm not going to go out of Champaran." because magistrate promised that he would have to leave Champaran or be imprisoned. He said, rather be imprisoned. Something to that effect. A defiant Gandhi. So Gandhiji refused to leave Champaran. And it's at Champaran that Gandhiji met Kripalani, Rajendraprasad, britishindia, and all those great leaders. And it is from Champaran that Gandhiji got the attention, caught the attention, and got the admiration of people, luminaries like Patel, Malviya, Tilak, Gokhale, Kripalani, everybody. But Moraji Desai also. All these great leaders are mentioned in detail in our books of history, which are our quest of our colonial history, our quest for freedom. But the struggle for freedom. But this man, this obscure Bihari peasant, Raj Kumar Shukla, who played such a significant role in our freedom struggle, finds a detail? No. He finds there's one chapter in one cbse book, I think one higher secondary book, I found one chapter. It just played a story, that's it. But did it talk about how he went from 1915, 2 years, how he tailed the Mahatma Gandhi, that he traveled with his persistence, he traveled 3,000 kilometers almost in those days across the country from Champaran to Lucknow to Kanpur to Champaran. From there, which he wrote a letter to Gandhiji saying, your 15 lakh oppressed subjects of this country have not given up hope of seeing seeing your lotus feet, because they know that once your honor sets foot on this soil, they will be emancipated. Then from Champaran back again to Calcutta to the east. Then he goes to Champaran with Gandhiji again. He traveled almost 3,000 kilometers. Today, with our flights and our scheduled trains and all the comforts, we would be still tired. But that man didn't give up. So is it not time to, and this is my grouse against the cbse, for not detailing all this. We are so Delhi-centric, and we are so hung about these great leaders that we forget the other insignificant people, insignificant to term it, but they are more significant than these great leaders, because of his persistence that Gandhiji got his chance to earn his admiration and respect of all other leaders. He made his debut in India with the satyagraha at Champaran. So embrace persistence to enjoy not taking no for an answer. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.